you've been part of this franchise for all 3 seasons. I'm sure you're feeling a bit better this year than you have in the other two years at this stage. What's been the big difference, do you think, this year?
I just think that we've added a few experienced players to the dressing room, so there's a bit of calm there, a bit more leadership, alongside getting Rashid back. He's been outstanding in the background, just leading the boys, and guys like Rassie, Rex, Dane Pitt, Colin Ingram. I mean, I can speak probably the whole squad. Having Trent here, it's added a lot of stability within that dressing room. So I think that's been the biggest difference. Is they want to win, they want to support each other. They understand that they take nothing for granted because they've experienced a bit of pain, a lot of the guys in that dressing room, for the last 2 years. And they're just enjoying their cricket at the moment, I think, and each other's company, which is probably the biggest difference in the last 2 years.
Just for yourself as a coach, as a head coach, this must feel so much better.
Yeah, it is. I think it does feel a lot better. I think the owners and the management staff above me put a lot of effort into the team. So I think just, it's not only about me as a coach, but all the hard work and their efforts that they support the boys with. So, it does feel a lot better. We haven't achieved anything yet. Like anything, it's a big week ahead. So it's exciting times for us as a group. We haven't been here in 2 years, so everybody's chomping at the bit to go on Tuesday.
Robbie, obviously today you scored 200, but generally in the tournament we've seen it as a bit of a struggle. Have you come to any conclusions as to what's different conditions-wise?
I think the conditions have been challenging, but I feel sometimes as bad as you can limit yourself a little bit. I think even though sometimes the conditions, like I said, can be challenging, you have to find ways to put big totals on the board. I think what we've tried to do is we'd rather blow out at a good total, but set our stalls out to get a match-winning total with a bat. So that's the one thing the batters have bought into. But it's basically come on from last season, to be honest with you. Guys like Rex, Rassie at the top, setting the tone. They've continued in that fashion this year. And guys like Riza, seeing Brevi playing the way he is, and then Delano, George Linder, these guys have really stepped it up this season. So that's been the kind of mantra we've gone with the bat. It'll be different in playoffs. Sometimes you have to be a bit more pragmatic in certain situations, but I think the DNA of this team is to be attacking, and they should never leave that for the next week.
And just on Dane Pitt, I mean, I guess you emptied the bench today, and he's been one of the seniors that everyone's spoken about as adding to the change room. What's he brought, and I don't know, do you think he'll play another couple of games?
Yeah, it's hard to say, but what Pitty has brought is one experience. He's a winner. He's a Cape Town lad and understands conditions here in Cape Town, so that always helps. But he brings the energy every single game for the boys. Sometimes when they're tired and they've travelled and they have to play the next day, the dugout is absolutely energetic because of Dane Pitt, and now he drags guys with him. So he's added a lot more than just taking 3 for 20-something today. I think for the whole tournament, he's been one of probably our standout performers, even though he's played one game.
Robbie, is it indicative of the team spirit and also the hard work that's gone in the last couple of seasons, especially to see your fringe players come in and be very dominant today, but just overall, that's how Cape Town has been playing this season?
Yeah, I think it's confidence. I think they've sort of been, that confidence is rubbing off on each other, including the bench. I mean, often you guys don't see the hard work that gets put in the background, and how these guys are, even though they're not playing day in, day out, they're putting in the effort. They're in the gym, they're in the data analysis rooms. They at the practice, first at training, last to leave. So, to give them all opportunity today was really something that, as a head coach, you're really pleased about, because it's not only about trying to lift the trophy, it's making sure we always preach about it's a squad effort at the end of the day. And now going into this week, we truly believe that, everybody has played a game and played a role, in getting us there. So that's the pleasing thing, that everybody can draw on that strength going forward.
Ravi,
How's it going?
We've seen Dewald Davis this season play with like a newfound confidence. Where does that come from? Is that just the team being in a good place and the management giving him some freedom maybe, or is that just he's coming this season as a different player?
Yeah, I think I've seen glimpses of it in the major league in America, where he's on the back of his bat. He's basically carried us to a final, and he's capable of doing special things with the bat. Devil was a young guy. Things happen quickly for him. Sometimes you have to fall, get back on the bike, and he's learnt a lot. You can see even talking to him the way he prepares now. And the maturity at which he talks about the game, and even his bowling and his batting, it's different this season. That can only come from young players falling and learning harsh lessons and coming back stronger. And that's testament to his resilience. He's still got a long way to go, but I mean the signs are all there that he could be a brilliant player, not only for South Africa but for MI going forward.
Robbie, Corbin Bosch spoke previously about a lot of players are from up country. Do you feel that your team will have an edge maybe when you play in the playoffs at the other venues, at the Wanderers or maybe?
No, I don't think so. I think it's on the day. I think a lot of teams have a lot of players from up country, so I mean it's no difference. I do feel that maybe if we get to a final, we have a lot of Lions players for some reason in our team. That's just happened organically, to be honest. No, there was no pre-planned acquisitions behind having a lot of them in the team. But I think a lot of guys have developed their games in the last 2 years. The upcountry guys have learned how to play the coast, and the coastal guys have learned how to play upcountry a bit better. So I think that experience over the last 2 years will stand us in good stead going forward. And hopefully my local knowledge at St. George's Park may give us the edge, but we still got to play well. And we're up against a formidable opponent in Paul Royals that also seem to have a good team spirit and something good going in their environment. So it'll be a tough game on Tuesday. But like I said, the guys are chomping at the bit and looking forward to the week ahead.
When a lot of players didn't get a lot of opportunity throughout the tournament, when they finally get the opportunity, I think there's a lot of stress and a lot of nerves going into it because they obviously want to make a statement or show that they are worth their spot. So was there a talk to them before the time or anything to calm the nerves or to assure them that they have the opportunity to play their best cricket today? Because obviously they put on a massive score and they bowled them out quite easily. And it didn't look like there were any nerves to make a statement or anything.
I think the guys we brought in have kind of been here for a while, so it wasn't as though they were playing their first games for the franchise. Besides Dane Pitt, I know Tristan is a young boy. You're always going to have try and get a game for your rookie somewhere in the competition, which we managed to do now. But I think once you get clear about your role and there's communication and alignment as how you want to go about it as a team, whether you the 18th player or the 11th or 6th player in the team, I think it's a very powerful thing. And it showed today that you can just bring people in and still feel confident that you can get the job done, which certainly we didn't feel we were weakening our team by any stretch of the imagination. We felt that we were re-energizing the group going into this week, and gladly it paid off. So, there was not a lot of no's. I think they were really clear about how they were, what their jobs were today.
How much or how little do you have to do as a coach based on the amount of experience you have in your team, and a guy like Dane can just come in today and deliver that type of performance?
Yeah, I think it's always great to have a lot of experience. I mean, Colin as well, Colin Ingram, these guys, even Matthew Potts, he's played a lot of international cricket, so they come with a wealth of experience. They know it's important that we just don't go through the motions in this game and still try and win it, regardless of the amount of changes we made. But it's nice to lean on them. I don't have to do as much. I think Rash's leadership has been instrumental, to be honest. The way he's grown into the position as the season has progressed has been, I can take my hat off to him. He's been amazing. The way he rallies the troops, even sacrificing. He wanted to play at Newlands the last game at home, but he was willing to sacrifice his position so Thomas Carver can play, which speaks volumes of him as a captain and a leader within our team.
Robbie, the leadership group has been spoken up a lot about how pivotal that has been this season. How has that come about? Has it just happened organically where players have decided to do that, or is it management assigning certain players into certain roles?
I think a bit of both. I think firstly, players have got to want to be part of that. You can't put someone there that doesn't really want to be there, because there's a lot of added meetings, a lot of get-togethers, and communication and getting guys aligned as to what's required on the day and going forward in the competition. So I think that group that we've put together with Rashid and, you know, it's not only that group, you know, it's everybody sort of added their value, you know, as the tournaments progressed, guys like KG, Trent Bolt. But it has been something we spoke about leading into this competition, that we need a little bit more leadership and communication within the group. And sometimes it's not pretty conversation, what you'd like to hear. Sometimes it's robust conversation, but that's part if you want to win anything. You know, you have to get to the crux of things that are bothering you and things that are working well and things we need to change quickly, you know, because these tournaments are about being flexible, and having a group like that, it's quite easy to filter the message across the group quite quickly. So it's something that's worked really nicely for us.
Robbie, one of the things we notice in this tournament is there's not a lot of downtime and it's very congested. Is that better? Because then once you've got momentum, you keep going, or would more space not be helpful?
Definitely more space should be helpful, to be honest with you. It feels as though we play on a plane the next day and play again. That's one of the challenges of this tournament. It's not only that it's tough cricket on the field. I think the scheduling, the planning, who needs to take a break, how you put your squad together. I think it adds an extra dimension to you know, the thought process. But I do feel that a little bit more downtime would be helpful. But I mean, that's why we were provided the opportunity to rest some of our guys today, thinking, you know, ahead, because if things don't go according to plan on Tuesday, we may have to play 3 games in 5 days, and that was also part of our thought process, besides giving guys opportunity.